When you go from being Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez to being BENNIFER, you have a problem. Same for Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes becoming TOMKAT. Being a power couple is great if you're into that kind of notoriety, but the joint brand is insidiously yet consistently chipping away at your respective individual brand, both during the relationship and long after it's over. Indeed, when Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez broke up way back when, his career suffered badly. It took him years to get it back. And when Katie Holmes embarked on her globe-trotting, movie-like romance with Tom Cruise, her career took a huge hit. And it took her years as well to put it back together, arguably never achieving the same level of global celebrity as before. And what about more recently, Brangelina? When Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie split up, it seemed both their brands suffered, though he's probably more for various reasons. It took him a good while to get back on the horse and to be recognized once again as an actor rather than half of the former power couple. All three of those breakups are very telling in that there is always a price to pay for the merging of your individual brand with that of your romantic partner. And you might think not being an A-list celebrity means that doesn't apply to you, but you would be wrong. While you obviously differ from them in money and fame, in the case of a professional fallout from a romantic breakup, not so much, actually not at all. Your Office Romance absolutely does put you in the Brangelina-like position where the two of you schmoopies no longer are considered as two individual professionals, but as one romantic couple. The problem is that, branding-wise, the whole is greater than the sum of its part. Thus, the more time you are an office couple, the higher the price each of you pay in his or her perceived, and therefore actual, eligibility for a promotion and a pay raise. Why? Well, there are two inconvenient truth bombs that answer this unequivocally. Stick around and find out. Also, just like those ex-power couples, you and your schmoopy will not each pay the same price. One will pay a higher price. Are you sure it's not going to be you? Hi, I'm the BossProblemBuster, founder of the Pay Raise Commando, a senior organizational consultant of 24 years, having worked across cultures, industries, and ranks with 7,250 employees trained between us, my team and I. I'm also a social psychologist with a master's and a bachelor's degrees, both with honors. My team and I train passed-over corporate professionals like you to get that pay raise and promotion you are overdue for, so that you can finally kill your Monday blues before you sink any further and bring your inner joy back, which is the best part of my job and the goal of this channel. Kill your Monday blues and bring your inner joy back. So if you'd like to get a promotion with a pay raise, or a pay raise independent of a promotion, and kill your Monday blues and bring your inner joy back, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so that we can meet again. Plus, if you'd like the full transcript of this video and all the videos on this channel, see the link in the description. It's on our website, BossProblemBuster.com, because it's too long to paste here, so not a trick to get you there. But if you do hop over, you'll find many practical reads and a forum where you can discreetly and anonymously ask us anything in regarding to landing that promotion and pay raise, to which we reply very quickly. Now, back to the salt mines. Hey Busters, welcome back. So, what is the lesson to all you BENNIFERs, TOMKATs, and Brangelinas out there? Simple, have fun, but know that 9 out of 10 there will be hell to pay in terms of your chances for that promotion and pay raise. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. Not that if I would, you'd listen, because an office romance is one of those things in which, if you're both single and you're attracted to one another, nothing anyone will say will make a difference. And hey, it's your life and your choice, so do whatever you want. I'm just laying before you the consequences of what you do and don't regarding your office romance so that you can make an informed choice vis-a-vis your aspirations of said promotion and pay raise. It's a trade-off game, like most everything in life. How so? The answer is in Office Romance Boss Problem number 6. A Brangelina joint brand overrides your individual one. Now, before I explain why this happens, let me just address the fact that a lot of you might be twitching their noses the second you hear anything about branding. And not the cute, bewitched nose twitch by the wonderful Elizabeth Montgomery, by the way, the daughter of actor Robert Montgomery from Hollywood's Gilded Age, but a nose twitch of repugnance and disdain. And that is because you're thinking about that obnoxious teammate who keeps pushing themselves to the forefront in all the wrong ways, all sorts of contrived, inorganic, annoying ways. But that's not branding, that's bad branding. It's like hating food because you had a bad dish. You still need to eat to survive, let alone thrive. And the same goes for branding. You need to brand yourself professionally to survive, let alone thrive in the workplace. It is the execution that makes the difference in both cases, branding and culinary. Branding is who people think you are, what they think your essence is. People always form an idea about who you are, mostly subconsciously. This involuntary, automatic branding takes place within any group of people. Thus, it is an integral part of the human condition. Therefore, twitching your nose at it in repugnance or disdain is silly and counterproductive. Especially if you're a driven, motivated employee whom aspires for a promotion and a pay raise, which are by definition dependent on how you're being perceived, i.e. your brand, which is why it is so important to see how your office romance can negatively impact it. I'll do a deep dive into this very important and very intricate subject on a separate deck, but for now just know that as we speak, your brand is being revised. Both your boss and your co-workers are rebranding you to accommodate for the change in your personal status from professional individual to a romantic couple. Now, as to the Brangelina joint brand overriding your individual one, this happens through two completely intertwined processes simultaneously. The fusion of both your brands into one and the dilution and blurring of your individual brands. Each one onto itself already puts your aspiration for a promotion and a pay raise in jeopardy, all the more so the combination of both. In this combination, you take on whatever branding your schmoopy has on top of your own, for better or worse. Thus, there are 4 optional results for this merging of your brands. It's a classical 2x2 table. A, both of your schmoopies have a positive brand, which is now being integrated into a power couple, a Brangelina, the king and queen of the office, or 2 kings or 2 queens, whatever. This sounds desirable, but if you are both driven for a promotion or a pay raise or both, this is actually quite problematic, as I've hinted in the beginning and as we'll see in a moment. The second optional result of merging your brands is that your schmoopy has a meh brand, which is now being integrated into your positive brand. In this case, your brand is automatically diminished, so you lose in terms of your aspirations for a promotion and a pay raise. By the way, for the sake of this example, I've assumed that there is no option for either you or your schmoopy to have a negative brand, because had it been the case, you would have probably been fired by now, hence the meh grade as the only opposite of a positive brand. The third optional result of merging your brands is that your schmoopy has the positive brand, which is now being integrated into your brand. In this case, you are elevated, so you win, but your schmoopy loses. Please note that this elevation, so to speak, is not the kind that will transform you from being ineligible for a promotion or a pay raise to now suddenly being eligible just by the sheer power of your newfound Brangelina status. Rather, this elevation is, in this case, a social issue in essence. The fourth and final optional result of merging your brands is that both of your brands are meh. So in the best case scenario for you, nothing changes. And in the worst case scenario for you, you two become the meh couple, which is really embarrassing but not really relevant for this discussion, because if you were both meh to begin with, you were probably either not driven in character or not eligible in performance and potential for a promotion and a pay raise to begin with, regardless of your office romance. So to sum this point up, the more time you are a couple as co-workers at the same workplace, the more of a Brangelina you guys become, which means an ever more blending of both of your individual brands to the point of them being further and further diluted and blurred, disappearing into the fused joint brand. Now, what about that Brangelina power couple option? That sounds desirable, right? Wrong. As I've hinted before, being the king and queen of the office is not all it's cracked up to be. Yeah, you may land the dubious starring role on the company's grapevine, but it will push you away from landing that promotion and pay raise you so want. Why? Because, and here's the main point, pay raises and promotions are based on your individual brand. Why? Because pay raises and promotions are given to individuals, not couples, plain and simple. Thus, even in this best case scenario, with both of you bringing a positive branding into the joint one and supposedly creating a doubly positive joint brand, it still ends up being the worst case scenario to each of your individual aspirations. When you two schmoopies are no longer considered individual professionals, but a romantic couple, the damage you suffer is double. A, you have both moved from being regarded as individuals to being regarded as a couple, but as we've seen before, pay raises and promotions are not given to couples, only to individuals, so not good. B, you both moved from being regarded as professionals to being regarded as romantic partners, which is counterproductive and a digression from the focus you are supposed to have at work and for which pay raises and promotions are given. So once again, you both lose, and that's a negative double whammy for your chances. So there are two issues here, personal and professional. The personal is the first inconvenient truth bomb I promised you in the beginning of the video, which is if you are both driven employees whom aspire for a promotion and a pay raise, you become de facto competitors of one another. Now, in regards to promotion, the situation is extra tricky because usually there are not that many to go around at any given time, meaning there's probably only one promotion potential at any given time, so you'll never be able to both win one, at least not at the same time. So suppose one of you will be promoted, how would that impact your relationship? And in regards to pay raises, Here the picture is somewhat rosier because it is possible for more than one person to get a pay raise at any given time, but it is less likely that each and every pay raise will be exactly the same, which once again may put you in a bind as a co-working couple. Now, this is not a Dear Abby kind of deck, so I'm not going to go into this or any personal aspect of your relationship here. However, I will address it in the next and second to last installment of this Sex and the Workplace deck, so be sure to check it out here, and I'll put the link in the description as well. So that was the personal issue. Now to the professional issue, which is the second inconvenient truth bomb I promised you in the beginning of the video, and that is, as this entire video shows, a Brangelina joint brand overrides your individual one. Thus, your chances of getting that promotion and pay raise are once again severely compromised. Why? Well, this fusion of both your brands into one, together with the dilution and the blurring of both of your individual brands in the process, make it very hard for either of you to differentiate yourself and distinguish yourself from one another, you and your schmoopy. And that's on top of the regular burden of differentiation that any candidate needs to achieve from any other eligible coworker in the team. So now you have a double burden laid on you. The result is that it is also hard for your boss to notice and acknowledge and appreciate your singular, unique, individual contribution to the point of erasing it altogether. Furthermore, when you get to a Brangelina status, or at least a poor man's version of it, human nature kicks in. Our brains tend to perceive things, to make sense of things, through converging them into patterns. This fact is represented in the well-known idiom, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Now, apply that to you and your schmoopy. The practical meaning is that a Brangelina is subconsciously perceived, because of its sheer power, as being bigger than the two co-workers it consists of. Ergo, you guys must be smaller, so that if you were to break the couple up, you would not be left with two very powerful employees, but with two meh employees. This is the subconscious perception of everybody around you at work, including your boss, regardless of whether it is true or not. Obviously, this is a huge blow to either of your aspirations, because your boss will be the one making the call regarding your promotion and pay raise, and what boss will give either to a meh employees, let alone two employees? But wait, it gets even worse, if you can believe it. If you were previously, prior to your office romance, considered eligible or potentially eligible, or on the track of being eligible for a promotion and a pay raise, then such a result to your Brangelina status is even more devastating, because now it seems like you've regressed in your eligibility. It is somehow dimmer, or as we've said before, it is diluted and blurred in comparison to what it was before your office romance. So once again, not good for your chances. Think of it as a workplace reasonable doubt, akin to the legal one we see on all those TV dramas. It is not that your boss has to think you're ineligible to rule you out for that promotion and pay raise. He only needs to be uncertain about whether you are eligible. This will serve as a reasonable doubt regarding what it is exactly you specifically bring to the table. And since your brand is now dimmed, diluted, blurred, that would be enough. That would be the reasonable doubt against you. Sad, but true. Now, to be fair, is it possible that your heightened profile due to your Brangelina status will make you more eligible just because you're more visible to your boss? Yeah, it's possible. Everything is possible in life and in the workplace, but it's not very probable for all the reasons I've laid before you all along this deck. And even if it were possible, it would only include one of you, not both. You realize that, right? But hey, you want to take that chance? By all means, take it. As I always say, I'm just giving you the facts nobody else will, so that you can make an informed decision. The rest is on you. You do you. That's it for today. Join me next time when I show you what happens if you are both driven and both wanting that promotion and pay raise from the seventh and final perspective of your boss. Plus a bonus one, number 8, about what happens, or rather when, you and Schmoopy break up. So, if you appreciate my work and would like to see more, even though the lighting on this video is horrendous, I'm well aware of it, trust me. As I always say, this is a low production channel, but a very, very, very high content value channel, as you can hopefully tell. You'll never find anyone else who says all those things and goes into such depth on all those topics, guaranteed. So you know the drill, but I'll say it anyway. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so that we can meet again. And until then, go back to work. You know I can't help you get that promotion and pay raise if you don't actually do the job.